methods with arguments and without return value. Third one, methods without arguments and with return value. Fourth one, without arguments and without return value. Say, four categories of methods you have seen. See, I'll write one method that is which category you should be able to identify. Okay. Say return type char, method name get char, no parameters. No. It is which category of method? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which category? 3. Category name without arguments with return value. Okay. Method without arguments and with return value. This method, if you want to call by using object, what we have tried. Give me answer. Char something c equal to new demo dot get char. Next, system dot out dot println c. By using object reference, if you want to call demo d equal to new demo. Next, char c2 equal to d dot get char. Okay. Next, system dot out dot println c2. Okay, like this. Now one more method. Method name, method return type is float. Parameter method name fun, which takes double d1 double d2. Which category method? First category. What is the category name? With arguments with return value. I want to call this method by using an object. What we have tried? Float x equal to new demo dot fun. Two arguments. Next, system dot out dot println x. With object reference, demo d1 equal to new demo. Next, float y equal to d dot fun, two arguments. Okay. The next, system dot out dot println y. Okay. Now, like this, if any method if I give, how to call? Can you give answer or not? Possible, no? No. How to call that method is important. As compared to method definition, method calling is important in Java. Okay. Now, these all remember. Don't forget. Don't forget. Next, method overloading. Note. Method overloading. Method overloading. Note. If two or more methods with the same name, if two or more methods with the same name and with a different parameters list, then it is said to be method overloading. If two or more methods with the same name and with a different parameters list, then it is said to be method overloading. If two or more methods with the same name and with a different parameters list, then it is said to be method overloading. In method overloading, parameters can be different in number of arguments, comma, data types, or order of an arguments. In method overloading, parameters can be different in number of arguments, comma, data types, or order of an arguments. In method overloading, parameters can be different in number of arguments, comma, data types, or order of an arguments. In method overloading, return type can be same or can be different. In method overloading, return type can be same or can be different. In method overloading, return type can be same or can be different. Same also valid, different also valid. Method name must be same. Parameters must be different. Return type, same also valid, different also valid. Okay. Then it is called method overloading. Why do we need this concept? I'll explain. First examples you see. Examples. First one, different in number of arguments. Suppose void method name add, which takes two integers. Void add, which takes three integers. Radisson, I'll explain. Is it over? See, first of all, method overloading. What is the definition I given? See, method overloading. If two or more methods with the same name and with a different parameters list, then it is said to be method overloading. Here, add method, same name, no? Now, different parameters. Here, how many arguments? Here, how many arguments? So, it is called method overloading. Okay. Now, in method overloading, return type can be same or can be different. Now, void, same I written. If you write different also, nothing will happen. But definition, if two or more methods with the same name and with a different parameters list, then it is said to be method overloading. So, same name, different parameters list, that is called method overloading. See, now same name, different parameters, it is called overloading. Okay. Same name should be there, different parameters should be there. That is called overloading. Return type same also valid, different also valid. So it is valid method overloading. Okay. Next, second one. Different in data types. Different in data types. Different in data types. Method return type integer add, which takes int a, int b. Suppose float, add float a, float b. Return type is not considered. Return type is not considered. Same also valid, different also valid. But method name must be same, parameters must be different. Method name must be same, parameters must be different. Return type same also valid, different also valid. Okay. Is it over? See, year add, method name same. Here how many argument? Here how many argument? Number of arguments same. But what's the difference? Data types. So data types are different. Either number of arguments or data types or order of an argument. Any one difference should be there. Return type same also valid, different also valid. Same also valid, different also valid. So it is also overloading. It is also overloading. Okay. Next. Third one. Different in order of an arguments. Different in order of an arguments. Integer a, float b. Void add float a, integer b. Different in order of an arguments. Different in order of an arguments. Say method name add, method name add, method name same. Here how many arguments? Here how many argument? Number of arguments same. Here what are the data types are there? Int float. Here here data types also same, no? One is integer, one float, one integer, one float. But what's the difference? Order. Here first integer, later float. Here first float, later integer. It is also called overloading. Return type is not considered. Same also right, different also right. It is not considered. In a method overloading definition only, that is not there. So what is there in method overloading definition? If two or more methods with the same name and with a different parameters list. Return type concept is not there in the definition. Return type same also right, different also right, not considered. Okay. Now method name same, parameters different. Method name same, parameters different. Okay. Return type can be same or return type can be different. Same also valid, different also valid. Method name must be same, parameters must be different, Return type, same also valid, different also valid. So these are examples of method overloading. But why do we need this overloading concept? Why we need to write same data type, same method name? I'll explain. See, for example, in C language, integer a equal to 10. If you want to print, what you'll write in C language? Printf percentile d a. If you want to print floating point number, float b equal to 10.4. Now, printf percentile f b. You'll write no. Suppose in Java, int a equal to 10. System dot out dot println a. Float b equal to 10.4. F required here compulsory. System dot out dot println b. You'll write like this one, Now, C language, Java language difference you observe here. Percentile d, percentile f we are writing. Now, a is a one variable which contains 10. We are printing in decimal integer format. B is a one variable which contains floating point number, that is we are printing floating point format. So it is called format specifier. In which format you are going to print, that format specifier you are specifying. Okay. Here percentile d if you write decimal integer format, it will print. Percentile f if you write decimal floating point format prints. Like that we are writing. But are we writing percent format specifier here? No. Reason, println method overloaded. Println method, not one method. 10 methods are there. If you pass integer method called. If you pass float method called. 10 methods are there, println methods. If you pass integer specific method called. If you pass float specific method called. In Java, println method overloaded. 10 methods are there. You may think it is same method we are calling, not same method. Integer if you pass integer method called. Float method if you pass float method called. Two separate methods are there. Every data type separate method is there. But in C language, how many printfs are there? Only one. There is no two printf, only one printf. F printf, F scanf, V printf, that is separate. Method name is different. Printf, only one. One printf. Method overloading not there in C language. It is object-oriented programming concept. Same method name, two methods you cannot write in C language, but in Java possible. Method name same. N number of you can write. But while writing, you take care. Parameter should be different. Okay. But in C language, one method only. Two methods, same name, not possible. With the different parameters, not possible. With same parameters, not possible. If you write, error comes in C. Because C is not object-oriented programming. It is Java object-oriented programming. It is object-oriented programming principle, polymorphism concept. Further, we'll see depth. Principles I didn't start. Little bit knowledge required for constructor. That's what I'm giving now. It is actually polymorphism principle. Okay. Say, println, 10 methods are there. Here, A which type? Then integer method called. Integer format printed. Here B which type? Float type. Then floating point method called. Then floating point format printed. Format specifier, no need to write. If you pass integer method called. If you pass float method called. Integer method will print integer format. Float method will print float format. But C language, one printf is there. Which format you are printing, it doesn't know. You need to specify. If you write percentile D, decimal integer, percentile F, float, like that it will print. Because of method overloading, no need to write that one. Because of method overloading, no need to write percentile D, percentile F in Java. Separate methods are there. Methods, libraries, methods, thousands of methods are there. You will see further. Just I'll show you println method. You observe. Present, you may not understand that one. Just you can see the method definitions. You can method declarators. You can understand. This is further I'll cover. This Java P command further I'll teach. This java.io package, this is all further I'll cover. Here, you observe. Println, how many methods are there? See. Here println started. Here println completed. See. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Method name same, no? Println 10 times. Parameters you observe. Here no parameters. Here boolean. Here char. Here int. Here long. Here float. Double. Character array. String. Object. 10 methods are there. Now, return type same is there. Same also valid. Different also valid. It is not considered. Whenever you pass integer, this method called. Then integer format printed. Whenever you pass float, this method called. Floating point format printed. So we have separate method. That is the reason. No need to specify format specifier. Which format printing, it will understand. According to that, it will print. Because 10 methods are there. Separate methods are there. Integer format, if you want to print, int method required. But int method automatically called. Depends upon your parameter. This is overloading purpose. Println method 10 times overloaded. See, every day you observe system.out.println welcome. Then this method called string. This method. String method called. System.out.println A. If A is integer, int method called. If A is float, float method called. Separate methods are there. But every day we are writing same. Assume overloading not there. Assume overloading not there. Then again you have to write %d, %f. Otherwise, method name should be different. Integer purpose one method. Float purpose one more method. Character purpose one more method. String purpose one more method. Either separate method required or format specifier required. Then suppose format specifiers %d, %f, %s, %c, like that you have to remember. Otherwise, println integer, one method. Println float, one more method. Method names different. 10 methods, separate name. So it is convenient way. Now no need to remember format specifiers. No need to remember separate names. Only one main name, println. For all, println. Because of overloading. So println method 10 times overloaded. One method only you are writing for all. That is a benefit. Now, no need to remember specifiers, format specifiers. No need to remember 10 names. One name only. Convenient way. That is overloading purpose. Okay. That is overloading purpose. So, here you observe. If two or more methods with the same name and with a different parameters list, then it is said to be method overloading. Method name must be same, parameters must be different. That is called overloading. In overloading, different number of arguments possible, different data types possible, different order possible. Any one different should be there. Then only it is called overloading. Return type, same also valid, different also valid. Okay. Now, here add method overloaded with 2 integers, with 3 integers. So, number of arguments different. Here, number of arguments 2, number of arguments 2, but data types different. Here, integers, here, float. Here, data types also same. Argument number also same, but order different. First integer, second float. First float, second integer. But return type is not considered. Right? Same also valid, different also valid. Suppose, one example I'll write. You observe. Here, void add, which takes two integers. System dot out dot println a plus b. Now void add three integers. Here system dot out dot println a plus b plus c. Now you observe. Now you observe. Demo d equal to new demo. Demo d equal to new demo. Okay. Now I created object to call these methods. D dot add. I'm passing three numbers. First method called or second method called? How do you know? Based on arguments. Okay. Like that. Here. Here. If I pass integer, it is called. If I pass character, it is called. If I pass boolean, it is called. If I pass string, it is called. How it knows? Based on arguments. With arguments, it knows. Okay. Now, here in our program, if I pass three integers, this method called. If I pass two integers, first method called. If I pass one integer, error comes. If I pass four integer, error comes. If I pass any other, error comes. Because we have only two methods. But here 10 methods are there. Now 10 methods. Other than 10, error. If you pass any parameter is not matched. Parameter is not matched, error. Parameter is matched, that is called. Okay. Here in this program, add method which takes two integers. Here add method which take three integers. Now, if I pass three integers, second method called. If I pass two integer, first method called. Like that, it will understand. Okay. Now, assume there is no method overloading. Assume. Then can you write same method name? No. Then you have to write add one, add two, like that. Otherwise, not possible. C language not possible. C language like that only. Add one, add two, like that only you have to write. Same name not possible. C language doesn't support polymorphism because C is not an object-oriented programming language. The C language functions, you write same name, error comes. It doesn't support. That is not object-oriented programming language. That is object-oriented programming language concept. So now no need to write add one, add two like this. You can write add only, different parameters. Now first method also performing addition. Second method also performing addition. That's what method name same I written. But same if you write, parameter must be different. Then only valid. Now, like this. It is method overloading example. See, demo class loaded, open brace executed, main method called, open brace executed, here object created, that object referred by D, with the D, add method called, three numbers I passed, received here, printed. Again D dot add, two numbers I passed, received here, printed. So it is add method, it is add method. Save file, save. Now I'll compile. That is in E drive I saved. E drive. Java C demo.java. Java demo. Println spelling mistake happened here. Compilation, execution. See, added. Okay. Write example. Example. Or program to demonstrate method overloading. Program to demonstrate method overloading. Write this one. Program to demonstrate method overloading. program to demonstrate method overloading. In core Java, this topic is most important, object-oriented programming. If you are perfect in object-oriented programming, remaining Java, nothing. Put efforts, work hard. If I pass three integers method called. If I pass two integers method called. Okay. If I pass three integers method called. If I pass two integers method called. Is it over? Now, I'll write one example. Give me answer whether it is overloading or not overloading. Okay, I'll write one example. See, it is method overloading. Okay, suppose here integer x, here integer y, here x plus y. Now, if I write like this, is it overloading or not? Your answer can be right or wrong. Is it overloading or not? Yes or no? Is it method overloading or not? How many people answer no? Just raise your hand. Okay. Online students. How many people answer yes? Just raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. First, what is method overloading? Two or more methods with the same name and with different parameters. Here, how many integers? Here, number of argument same, data types same, order. It is not called overloading. Okay. Here, what is different I given? Variable names I given. Variable name is not considered. Either number of arguments should be different, or data type should be different, or order should be different. Here, how many argument? Here, how many argument? Here, what are the data types? Here, order, everything same. It is not called overloading. It is not called overloading. Okay. Now, here, if it is like this, then overloading. Now, that is called method overriding. One more concept that is. Write this one. Method overriding. If two or more methods with the same name and with the same parameters list, then it is said to be method overriding. If two or more methods with the same name and with the same parameters list, then it is said to be method overriding. If two or more methods with the same name and with the same parameters list, then it is said to be method overriding. If two or more methods with the same name and with the same parameters list, then it is said to be method overriding. Same name, same parameters, number same, data type same, order same, everything same. That is called overriding. See, example. Write this one. Example. Now method name same, number of arguments same, order same, variable name different, variable name not considered. Same also, different also. If you write like this, it is not called overloading. It is called overriding. Now, is it overriding is over? Suppose here I written overriding. In this program, I written overriding. Okay. Now, think yourself and give me answer. I called like this. This program, will it compile or not compile? Your answer right or wrong, whatever it may be. This program, will it compile or not compile? Compiles. Here, d dot add 9933. Which is going to be called? How do you know first one? Here, how many integers? Here, how many integer? Here, how many I'm passing? Which should be called? How do you know first? On what basis first and second you are selecting? So latest one called. On what basis you are selecting? Okay, some answer they given. It latest, that's what it is called. Okay, next. Say, few people are getting confusion, no? Few people are getting confusion, no? Compiler also gets confusion. Okay, compiler also gets confusion. Which should be called? Because year number of arguments same. Year 2, year 2, year 2. This is also eligible. So compiler gets ambiguity to call either first or second. That's what error comes. It will not compile. See, file, save. If I compile, error comes, it is already defined comes. See, method add two integers is already defined. X capital also okay, small also okay. Now X small, okay. Now method already defined. See, same error comes. That X capital letter error, that is one more error came. Yeah. Method add two integers is already defined in class demo. One more method name, same parameters, we cannot write. It's an error. If you write like this, when I call, which should be called? Compiler gets ambiguity to call either first one or second one. This problem comes. It is not possible in same class. Two different classes inheritance concept possible. That is further we'll study. Just one point, remember, note. Methods cannot be overridden in the same class because of ambiguity to call. Methods cannot be overridden in the same class because of ambiguity to call. Methods cannot be overridden in the same class because of ambiguity to call. Because of ambiguity to call. Methods cannot be overridden in the same class because of ambiguity to call. While calling, ambiguity comes. That's what it is not allowed. Writing is not allowed. Calling later. First, writing is not allowed. Okay. Just overloading, overriding, just definitions. One example. About overloading, about overriding, 3 classes will be there in further sessions. While teaching polymorphism, I'll cover. About overloading, overriding, only 3 classes required. 3 classes. Present you cannot understand because overriding requires inheritance. Inheritance required class and object. That is your learning. Okay. Class and object not completed. No. Okay. It is ambiguity to call. Okay. Now, next concept. Static keyword. Note. Next heading, static keyword. Static keyword. It is called as modifier. It is called as modifier because it modifies the behavior of a variable, comma method, comma block and class. It is called as modifier because it modifies the behavior of a variable, method, block and class. It is called as modifier because it modifies the behavior of a variable, method, block and class. It is called as modifier. Why we are calling modifier? It modifies the behavior. Which behavior? Variable, method, class and block. This is all. I'll explain. Just next point. By using static keyword, we can create class variables, comma class methods, comma static initialization blocks and nested top level classes. It is a one type of inner class. Nested top level classes. It is a one type of inner class. By using static keyword, we can create class variables, class methods, static initialization blocks, and nested top level classes. It is a one type of inner class. I'll explain. Say, by using static keyword, we can create class variables, class methods, static initialization blocks, and nested top level classes. Nested top level class, nothing but it's a one type of inner class. Outer class only not completed, inner class later. Okay. Class variables already studied. Class variables over no? Class methods not completed. Static initialization block not completed. Nested top level class not completed. So only class variables already studied. Static keyword, you can apply it to variable also, you can apply it to method also, you can apply it to block also, you can apply it to class also. Okay. So it is called modifier. Why we are calling modifier is it modifies the behavior. Which behavior? Variable, method, block, and class. So you have seen only one concept, class variables. Remaining you didn't study. Class variables. Remembered or forgot? Remembered? Now it is required to understand about this. Okay. How many types of variables are there? What are those? What is instance variable? What is class variable? What is local variable? When memory allocated to instance variable? When memory allocated to class variable? When memory allocated to local variable? Whenever method is called. Instance variables in which memory block stored? Class variables, local variables. Total how many memory blocks? Remaining two. Native stack area, PC registers. PC full form? Program counter. Can I write local variables as a static? Can I write variables outside the class? Outside the class is called global variables. Global variables you cannot write in Java. Not possible. Okay. What is the difference between instance variable, class variable? If I create 100 objects, how many copies of instance variable created? How many copies of class variable created? One. Okay. When we have to use instance variable in Java program, different values. When we have to use class variable, same value. When we have to use local variable to perform the task, if any calculation is there. Okay. If the variable depends on another variable, in that situation also local variable you can select. Okay. Local variables, instance variable, class variable, how to select you have seen. How many ways to access instance variable? What are those? When we have to use object. When we have to use object reference? More than one time. How many ways to access class variable? What are those? How many ways not recommended? Which are not recommended? When we have to use directly? Same class. When we have to use class name? Another class. But sometimes in the same class also we have to use class name to access class variable. In which situation? Local variable name, class variable name, if it is same. If you want to access class variable, class name required. Okay. How many ways to access local variable? One way. That is directly. Will it instance variable get default value? Yes. Will it class variable get default value? Will it local variable get default value? Local variable must be initialized before access. Otherwise, compile time error occurs because they do not get default values. Okay. A default value of integer, default value of float 0.0 f. A default value of boolean false. Default value of character blank space. Blank space. What is the life of instance variable? Object. What is life of class variable? What is life of local variable? What is the life of method parameter? Method. What is the life of block variable? Block. Block variable scope is limited to block only. Method parameter scope is within the method only. Limited to method only. Local variable scope is limited to method only. Instance variable scope is based on access modifiers. That is, I didn't explain till. What is the scope of class variable? That is life scope based on access modifiers. Life different, scope different. Whether it is there or not in the memory, that is called life. Whether it is accessible or not accessible, scope. It is there. but not accessible. That is called scope. It is there. That is life. It is not accessible. Scope. Scope restricted. It is there in the memory, but we cannot access. Scope restricted. That type. Whether it is there or not in the memory, that is called life. Whether it is accessible or not accessible, that is called scope. Okay. These all very depth I covered. Very depth I covered. Don't forget. It is most important. Okay. Now also required to understand. Now, static keyword. What is static keyword? It is modifier. Why we are calling modifier? Because it modifies the behavior. Behavior of variable. Which behavior? Variable, method, class, block, class. These all. By using static keyword, what we can create? Class variable, class methods, static initialization blocks, nested top level class. Nested top level class is a one type of inner class. Okay. Now you observe. First, why it is called modifier, I'll explain. It is which variable? When memory allocated? Which memory block stored? How many ways to access? If I create object, how many copies created? If I create 100 objects, how many copies created? 100. One object if I create, depends upon number of objects, number of copies. Okay. If I write static, which variable? When memory allocated? Which memory block stored? How many ways to access? 4 ways. If I create 100 objects, how many copies created? 1 copy created. Okay. Now you observe. If I remove static, instance variable. If I add static, class variable. If I remove static, memory allocated whenever object is created. If I add static, memory allocated whenever class is loaded. If I remove static, stored in heap area. If I add static, stored in method area. If I remove static, 2 ways to access. If I add static, 4 ways to access. If I remove static, if I create 100 objects, 100 copies created. If I add static, 1 copy created. With one keyword, total variable behavior change, you know. That is the reason it is called modifier. Okay. One keyword, if I attach, this variable behavior is totally changed. That's what it is called modifier. So just by adding static keyword, this variable total behavior changed. That is the reason it is called modifier. Okay. It modifies the behavior of variable. That is already over. It modifies the behavior of class, modifies the behavior of block, modifies the behavior of method. Those all you have to learn, not completed. Only variables completed. Okay. Now you are going to learn class method. Variables already over. Okay. Next, write it. Class methods. Class methods. A method that is defined as a static member of a class. A method that is defined as a static member of a class is called as class method. A method that is defined as a static member of a class is called as class method. There are 4 ways to access class method. There are 4 ways to access class method. First one, directly. Second one, by using class name. Third one, by using an object. Fourth one, by using an object reference. There are four ways to access class method. There are four ways to access class method. First one directly, second one by using class name, third one by using an object, fourth one by using an object reference. There are four methods to four ways to access class method. So like a class variable, class method. Like a class variable, class method. See, those who joined for full stack Java, you can attend at present only three classes. One is this core Java class you are attending, and one more HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and one more Oracle. Other batches present you cannot understand if you join. Okay. So present you learn only these three: core Java, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, Oracle. Now, advanced Java, Selenium, development security operations, Spring, Angular, these all you cannot understand. Now you should not join. Okay, other classes are there, that is not for you. If you want to attend advanced Java class, up to exception handling topic required. Now, object-oriented programming only not completed. So if you join in advanced Java class, you cannot understand. Up to exception handling is prerequisite. Okay. Today my class is there, advanced Java class, but not suitable for you. You have to wait for next batch. Okay. So up to exception handling, if it is completed, then you can join in advanced Java batch. Present not suitable to you. You wait for next batch. Okay. Up to exception handling knowledge is required to learn advanced Java. Okay. Those who didn't join HTML's Oracle, join. Okay. HTML and Oracle batches are there. That is, you join. Those who didn't join till, I think already many people joined, I think. Okay. In Naresh Reddy website, complete information will be there. Frequently they'll update. Say my advanced Java batch is there, but not suitable to you. You have to wait for next batch. Okay. Not suitable to you. HTML, CSS, JavaScript batch is there. Oracle also is there. Say Oracle. Today 6 o'clock. Okay. Those who didn't join Oracle till, you attend this class. HTML, CSS, JavaScript. It is also 6 o'clock only. Okay. This is on 11th September, 6 o'clock. Those who didn't join this one. Okay. My class also advanced Java 5:30. But this is not suitable to you. You have to wait for next batch. You have to wait for next batch. Okay. HTML, CSS, JavaScript. That is, you attend. Oracle, you attend. Those who didn't join till Oracle class and HTML class, you join. HTML also 6 o'clock only is there. Oracle also 6 o'clock is there. You already joined for Oracle, means join for HTML. You already joined for HTML, join for Oracle. Okay. Timing is not suitable, wait for next batch. That's it. Okay. Frequently they'll update website, you can check it. Okay. Other classes, Selenium class, Advanced Java class, Angular class, DevOps class, and Spring class, not suitable to you. You have to wait. You have to wait. Okay. When you have to attend, I'll inform. At the time you can join. Present only three classes you can attend: core Java, HTML, and Oracle. That's it. Okay. Now, any doubts are there? Any doubts are there about batches? See, if you want to learn advanced Java, up to exception handling topic should be completed. If you want to join Selenium, up to exception handling should be completed. If you want to join Angular, HTML, CSS, JavaScript batch should be completed. Then only you can understand. If you want to learn Spring, if you want to learn development security operation, advanced Java Solid topic should be completed. Okay, like that. Prerequisite. Prerequisite you have to follow. Okay. Any doubts are there? Ask me, I'll explain. But you are discussing means you will not understand. No? Prerequisite you have to follow. Then only you will understand subject. Okay. Now, class methods. A method that is defined as a static member of a class is called as class method. There are four ways to access class method. One is directly, second one by using class name, third one by using an object, fourth one by using an object reference. Okay. There are four ways to access class methods. Now, here, suppose void display, one method. System.out.println welcome. It is which category method? Which category? What is the category name? Without arguments, without return value. How many ways to access? First, is it instance method or class method? Instance method. How many ways to access? What are those? Object, object reference. If I attach static keyword, it is called class method. How many ways to access? Four ways. What is the first one? Say directly display. It is called directly. Next, by using class name, demo.display. What is third one? Object. What do you have to write? New demo.display. Fourth one, object reference. Demo d equal to new demo. Next, like this. Four ways. See, file, save. Compilation, execution. See, directly by using class name, by using object, by using object reference. All I called. Okay, write example. Is it over? What you are discussing about batches or about this static method or any other static method? Maximum people discussing, you observe. If any doubts are there, you ask me, I'll explain. First, you stop discussion. Stop discussion. If any doubts are there, ask me, I'll explain. If you don't have a doubt, I'll continue. Any doubts are there about class method? It's nothing, no? It is just like a static variable. Okay? Class method, 4 ways to access. That's it. Now, here, display it is directly. This is going to be called welcome printed. Demo.display, same. This is only called object reference. How many ways not recommended? 2 ways. Because same concept, memory wasted. Write this one. Third and fourth ways are not recommended to use. Third and fourth ways are not recommended to use. Not recommended. Is it valid or not valid? Not recommended also valid. Okay? Not valid means error. Not recommended is not error. Okay? When we have to use directly? Same class. When we have to use class name? Another class. Write that point. Access class method directly if it is present in the same class. Use class name to access class method. Use class name to access class method if it is present in another class. Use class name to access class method if it is present in another class. Third and fourth ways are not recommended to use. Access class method directly if it is present in the same class. Use class name to access class method if it is present in another class. See, this one, same whatever you studied already, that type only. Class variable type. Class variable, class method, class variable type only this is. Now, when we have to use class method, when we have to use non-static, like a instance method, I'll explain. Just note down. If the class contains an instance variable, then if the class contains an instance variable, then use class method. Then use instance method. Otherwise, use class method. If the class contains an instance variable, then use instance method. Otherwise, use class method. If the class contains an instance variable, then use instance method. Otherwise, use class method. This point you have to remember. While selecting instance variable, class variable different. While selecting instance method, class method different. You observe. When we have to use instance variable, when we have to use class variable. When we have to use instance variable, when we have to use class variable. Not this one, variable. Different values are there. Instance variable. Same value is there. Class variable. Now, when we have to use instance method, if the class contains instance variable. Otherwise, this line, understood? What I given, see once read. If the class contains an instance variable, then instance method. Otherwise, class method. Okay? In a program, instance variable is there. Which method you have to use? Otherwise, is it clear? Whether you understood or not, I'll check it. Okay? See, if I don't ask any question, you may not understand. That will be happen. That's what I'm asking. Now, integer x equal to 10. I want to write one method. Which method you have to write? Instance method. Now I want to write one method. Not understood. See, if I don't ask any question, what will happen? You observe. Once again, read. If the class contains instance variable, then otherwise, instance variable is there or not? But you are giving class method. No? Both are there, but what is the point? Instance variable is there. What you have to write? Then which method you have to write? Instance method. But majority people given class method. No? Here, you need to observe only instance variable is there or not. It is there or not. Then which method you have to write? Instance method. See, if I don't ask question, what will happen? You observe. Okay. Once again. Now I want to write method. Which method you have to write? Instance method. Now I want to write method. Which method? Now I want to write method. Now I want to write method. I want to write method. Which method? Instance method or class method? Class method. There is no instance variable. Then class method. That is only question different angle I am asking. In a program, first you observe instance variable is there or not. If it is there, which method you have to write? In your program, instance variable is not there. That's it. That is 4 different ways I asked. But answer is that one only, no? That's what I am saying. After completion of course, what students are doing? They'll open Google. Core Java interview questions. In question, answer. Question, answer. Suppose 100 questions, 100 answers you'll learn. You'll go to interview. 1 at 1 comes. They won't give answer. That's what. Learn subject very depth. Any question, you can respond. Downloading question answer is no use. That is wasted. Most of the students doing that one only. Observe. Right or wrong, check it out. That is wrong way. There is no syllabus copy for attending interview. But while doing BTech, they'll give one syllabus copy. From that only they'll ask, no? While doing BTech, while doing MCA, they are giving syllabus copy. From that only they are asking. In interview, any syllabus copy is there? Infosys syllabus, Wipro syllabus like that is there? Not there, no? That's what. Learn subject very depth. Question maybe different angles comes. Try to respond. Different people, different type, they learn subject. But at last subject is same. Questions, different angles comes. That's what. For any question, you should be ready. That type knowledge required. That is the reason I'm asking different types. Okay. But answer is that one only. Only one line that answer. That is 4 types I asked question. But answer is there only, no? Now give me answer once again. Now I want to write method. Which method you have to write? Which method? Class method. I want to write method. I want to write method. I want to write method. Clear, no? Instance variable is there. Instance variable is not there. Class method. Why like this? I'll explain. Now I want to write method. Which method? Class method. Suppose I'll write instance method. Now, actually, which method you have to write? Class method we have to write. But which method I written? What is the problem? You observe. How many ways to access that method now? What are those? For calling that method, you need to create object. That object memory wasted. No? Object is not required, but you are creating object. That's what not recommended. Suppose integer x equal to 10. Which method you have to write? Suppose I'm writing class method. Now When this memory allocated? Anyhow, you are creating object, no? For that purpose, anyhow, you have to create object. Then instead of static, write non-static. You are creating object. That object only use. That object only use. Then no need to write class method in this situation. Got in mind? Instance variable is there. Which method you have to write? Because anyhow you are creating object. For that purpose, you have to create object. That object only use for this. That object only use for display method. Suppose now which method you have to write? If you write instance method, what will happen? Memory wasted. It requires object to call like this. These all points will not be there in books. You check it. With only one concept, one example, only 1000 pages core Java. If they give each and every point 10,000 pages, it becomes. These are only logical thinking. That's it. This type of notes will not be there in the books. It's only logical thinking. That's it. You should think. With thinking only, you'll get many answers. That's what every person should think. Logical thinking required. For logical thinking purpose only, I'm interacting with you every day. Every day I'm interacting. What purpose I'm interacting? Not for getting answers. Logical thinking purpose. Your answer right or wrong, that will leave it. Your thinking. That thinking power will improve. Then any new question also you can give right answer in the interview. That purpose I'm asking questions every day. Okay? If you think, you will get a subject. Now, is it clear? One more question I'll give. That is how to call. Give me answer. Static integer